Day 1 of the Quarantine Reviews. Edmund has decided to cover Smote Reverser by the OCs.
So welcome to the first of these quarantine reviews. Here's how they're going to go. I'm going to pick out one of the albums in my vast collection. I've got enough to cover the next 3 months if it has to. And I'm going to talk a bit about the band, talk about the favourite track on the album, the least favourite track on the album, and give an overall score. So, without further ado, OC's Smote Reverser. I know the voiceover said the OCs, but that was on my part. I gave them the script, and I thought it was the OCs. Their name has changed, has variated multiple times. It's been the OCs. It's been all variations in that ilk, but none the more for that. So if you're unfamiliar with OCs, they do a vast array of different styles of rock. They cover punk, prog rock, psychedelic rock, other forms of popular 60s and 70s styles of rock. Very sort of Fleetwood Mac-y, Steppenwolf influences in that sort of area. And they are very proficient with how they do that. And not just proficient, you can tell that they've got a passion for those styles of music. You can tell that they're sort of like, oh, we want to do this. We want to really understand and show our love for the music. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, favourite track on the album, C. That is my favourite for a couple of reasons. It's cool, it's dynamic, it's got a good driving guitar feel and a very bouncy sound to it. The drum work varies very nicely. You're not overly burdened by any feelings of repetitiveness, although it has a nice sort of refrain going on with the music and the vocals. The other reason is the lyrics are incredibly demented and in complete contradiction with the sound. Like, you'd expect these lyrics to turn up on a Black Sabbath album or something like that. You wouldn't expect it to be all this bouncy, happy, jolly stuff. I'll leave some of the lyrics out. But yeah, it got me doing a bit of a little chair dance when listening to it, and I had a lot of fun with it. My least favourite song on the album, in fact I find it quite a tedious slog, is Anthemic Aggressor. Now, this is 12 minutes and 13 seconds of the band experimenting in an instrumental. And you feel that 12 minutes and 13 seconds. A repetitive rhythmic drum beat that barely goes anywhere. Guitar work that weirdly modulates and feels like the guitarist saw some tricks on YouTube to try out and went, oh, I want to do that now. An uninspired bass line. It's just overall really boring. And what makes that weird is 2 tracks before that so 2 tracks before that and 3 tracks after it are 2 really good instrumentals. At least, well, the last piece, supposedly there are lyrics for that, but I listened to it and I don't hear any lyrics, I just hear an instrumental. Maybe that's my version of the cut, I'm not sure, but as an instrumental, I think it's really cool. And Flies Bump Against the Glass. Again, that is a really good, solid instrumental. So I'm not sure what's going on with Anthemic Aggressor. I don't know, maybe those extra few minutes meant they had more time. Because they had more time to experiment, they had less time to make sure it was nice and tidy and tight. But yeah, I mean, they tried something out and for me it didn't work. Overall, I would give this album a 3.5 out of 5. It's not anything especially new, it's obviously taking cues from the 60s and 70s, but if you're into that, and I certainly am, then you're definitely not going to go wrong by picking up this album. With the exception of that one song, I really enjoyed it. I was always bopping my head and at odd moments doing a little chair dance. So it's a fun album, and I'm sure you can pick it up on Spotify and YouTube and all those other outlets. That's it for this. Keep well, keep safe, and I will see you tomorrow.